Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. They've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. That wideout, Antonio Brown, is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and feed him.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Fighting through pressure. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Brandon Graham able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taken right around the 44. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So the Eagles now, they'll be in great position here to start things out. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Got to get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
And they'll go on the ground. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On first down, Wentz. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him. I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. Right now, they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for, this is what you practice for, this is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Tackle that time by Sidney Jones. Time to peek at the defensive starters here that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
On On second down, it's Bell. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Ready? Block 80!
Now Roethlisberger on first down. On the left side, it's McDonald. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining.
4 down. Check. Set.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's got this one down to the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down.
Now that's a play they're going to be proud of on defense, because any second and short situation, you anticipate the run, and you want to make the play and stop them from getting a first down. But when you can force them to lose yardage and now put the odds in your favor on defense, because now they're going to have to throw the ball, that's a play that you're going to be really, really excited about, and one that your defense coordinator now gets to roll the dice a little bit himself and create a big play.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Brandon Graham in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Well, that was their third sack of the ball game. Second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This from 42 yards out. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to take over right there, 2-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They go play action here on first down. That is caught at the 7. And stacked a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. There are the numbers for McDonald from a week ago. 7 catches, 72 yards.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for.
Like 80.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Samuels, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 10-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And along with the rest of his offensive mates, here comes Zach Ertz. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On second down, here's Wentz. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option. Taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
First carry for James Conner. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger will throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better, that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Boswell for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out and out come the Eagles. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. side, solid.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Wentz going to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Then he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
This before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter down, 17-10, the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. On play action, it's Wentz. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. That one goes for 24 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around with the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He's going to get it running right. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say...
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Elliott good with a PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Connor. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the gun, it's Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On first and 10, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 more on that one and another first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left. That's caught at the 25. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Javon Hargrave busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And Elliott puts this one through. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Switzer now to return. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Blue 30. Black, it's on.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Set. Blue 30.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Vance McDonald, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And some strong running. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Wentz now to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Wentz. it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And that's blocked. The Steelers get it. Punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
On third down, Roethlisberger finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control a game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run. It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Wentz. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Throwing on first is Wentz. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Taylor Gabriel, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Wentz now on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the man was all the difference. That's completion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A good pickup there at 22.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff looking right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. He's going to let this one go deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt, and remember, his first one was blocked. Now Brown. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's Roethlisberger. On the crossing route, complete. That's McDonald. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll go on the ground. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let's go. Great.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. 42 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a 1st.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. On 1st down, Wentz. And this is caught at the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2nd and goal from the 1. They come out here in the eye. They get it to him running left. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. A little surprising they wouldn't go for two, but this is up and good. And we are tied at 27 all. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side complete. It's McDonald. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now it's counter. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now they try the right side here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now Wentz, forced out to his left. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it's Roethlisberger. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this goes for 24 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now Roethlisberger. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here on the booth. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Hicks in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That play was hard to see. One play goes wrong, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and very long when they had been in 2nd and inches.
Yeah, I know you like the idea of taking a shot on 2nd and inches, but you can't take a sack for that big of a loss.
That's the one thing you cannot do. They gave it up, and now they're way behind the chains. Good luck with this next play call.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Here's Conner. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game. and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Wentz now on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz buying time to his left. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing now is Wentz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll get it up the middle. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. They'll give it to him up the middle. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
It's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Brandon Graham in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. He'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back to throw. Wentz. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Oh, a lot of contact right there. No call. Maybe got away with one.
What are you doing questioning the contact on that play? Let them play. And, you know, it was a late-game situation. I think that probably played into it. The officials, they won't let the players determine it down the stretch.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. And they'll go on the ground. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. This from 55 yards out. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Oh, and It's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about you. Throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now what can Roethlisberger do here in overtime? And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. They picked up a first down and a whole lot more. Forget about just looking for the sticks. They went well beyond the stick.
I know they were talking about guarding the sticks on defense. They didn't guard them very well. They got a big-time completion on a third down. That's almost a backbreaker, isn't it? In overtime, every play's importance is magnified. And that one could turn out to be huge.
A gain of 6 there on first. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps. So they're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. As you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, I'd go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only second down, but I kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for third. Have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's third down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. All right, well, they didn't kick it on second down, now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it, because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage. You fall on it, you get another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Pittsburgh, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.